Hi everyone, I'm Sham. In this video, we're going to discuss a very important topic of polity. In one of my earlier videos also, I have discussed with you a very important topic in polity called fundamental duties. If some of you haven't seen that, please check it and see the videos on fundamental duties, because fundamental duty is a very important topic, very small topic but important, because very often in India, every day, every now and then, you keep coming across some issues based on the aberration of fundamental duties. Every now and then you find on the newspaper if someone is accused of violating the fundamental duties. That is the reason fundamental duty is a very small topic but important. Please see the videos. Now this video is a very important, in this video we are going to discuss a very important topic called constitutional amendments. And I'll talk both in English and Telugu. ఈ వీడియోలో కాన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ అమెండ్మెంట్స్ అనే టాపిక్ మీద మనం డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం. వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ టాపిక్. అండ్ ఐఎమ్ నాట్ గోయింగ్ టు డిస్కస్ ఆల్ ది అమెండ్మెంట్స్. ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు డిస్కస్ ద రీసెంట్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ అమెండ్మెంట్స్. బికాస్ మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద కాంపిటేటివ్ ఎగ్జామ్స్ లో మనకు ఎలా అయితే కరెంట్ అఫైర్స్ రీసెంట్ లేటెస్ట్ ఇష్యూస్ మీద బిట్స్ అడుగుతారు, అంటే లేటెస్ట్ లాస్ట్ 6 months, లాస్ట్ 4 to 6 months కరెంట్ అఫైర్స్ ఎలా అయితే మనం అప్డేట్ చేసుకుని ఎగ్జామ్కి వెళ్తాము. చాలా మందికి తెలియని విషయం ఏంటంటే పాలిటీకి సంబంధించి కూడా అమెండ్మెంట్స్ విషయంలో లేటెస్ట్ అమెండ్మెంట్స్ అప్డేట్ చేసుకుని ఎగ్జామ్కి వెళ్ళాలి. ఎందుకంటే మనం చదివి ఏ సబ్జెక్ట్ అయినా ఏ సెక్షన్ అయినా జనరల్ స్టడీస్ పేపర్లో కరెంట్ ఇష్యూస్కి రిలేట్ చేసే క్వశ్చన్స్ వస్తాయి. మనందరికీ విషయం తెలుసు. మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద టైమ్స్ ద క్వశ్చన్స్ ఆఫ్ జనరల్ స్టడీస్ arise which are in pertinence with the current affairs, current issues. That is the reason we have to be updated with the recent constitutional amendments. Point number 1. Why should we amend the constitution? See, we all know that after many decades of struggle, we have really achieved our independence on 1947 August 15th. And then almost nearly for 3 years, 2 years, 11 months and 19 days, almost nearly for 3 years, many experts in the country sat together, formed an assembly called Constituent Assembly. They started thinking, brainstorming, and put all their ideas in a drafting committee and finally designed the wonderful Indian Constitution. Around almost for 3 years, right? Very close to 3 years. Now in such a case, those wonderful people who worked hard for around 3 years designed a constitution, right? But now why should we amend it? That is the point to understand. See, every time whenever India has a crisis, whenever there is a problem, whenever there is a demand, whenever there is an issue to be resolved, we kept on amending the constitution to meet the requirements. Many people think we are still following the old education system. We are still following the constitution written many years back. Not at all. It is a baseless argument. Every now and then, whenever there is a requirement, we are trying to amend the constitution. Number 1. Number 2. How many times the constitution has been amended? It's a small question but tricky one, because many times people get confused. There is a small dilemma whether there are 104 or 126. Very carefully listen, students. How many times the constitution has been amended? The answer is 104. So 104 times the constitution has been amended. Then what is this number called 126? 126 times the constitution, the proposal to amend the constitution was, kept. For example, 126 constitution bills, a constitutional amendment bills were passed. But the logic is simple. Not every bill becomes an act, correct? Some bills become an act, some bills don't become an act. So 104 amendments have been made so far, and 126 amendment bills have been passed in the parliament, but only 104 constitutional amendments are made. You know, right? A bill has to be passed in the parliament and majority has to vote for that, and only then it becomes an act with the approval of the president, and even after that it has to be kept in the Gazette of India. It has to be notified in the Gazette of India. Only once a bill is approved and kept in the Gazette of India, we really take it as, the purpose, the job is complete. only then we call it a constitutional amendment. Correct? So this is the simple point. 104 times amendment has taken place. 126 amendment bills have been passed. Number 3. Who gave the right to amend the constitution? The constitution itself has given the right to amend the constitution under the article 368. We all know that. So the article 368 of the constitution says, whenever you want to make a small amendment in the constitution, please make it. How wonderful, see. So the framers of the constitution had such a wonderful foresight that in the future there might be a situation where amendment needs to be done. We have to provide them that facility. We have to give them a platform. And that is the reason why they have mentioned in the article 368, which gives the power to amend the constitution, to change the constitution. But please mind it, when I say change the constitution, you can change the rules and regulations, you can change the acts and modify them, but you can never change the basic structure of the constitution. Very important. You can amend the constitution, but you cannot completely amend the basic structure of constitution under the article 368. So these are some basic points that we all should know. Why should we amend the constitution? Under which article do we have the power to amend the constitution? How many amendments have been made so far? And how many amendment bills have been passed so far? Having said all this basic information, now let me come back to the main point of the video. That is the latest amendment, 104th amendment. 104th amendment is the last, or I can say the latest amendment, which took place in the December 2019. So what is this 104th amendment about? It's a very, very, very important question. The latest amendment is 104th amendment. 104th amendment is about, this amendment, what has happened, this amendment has extended the reservations to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe to the seats of Lok Sabha and State Legislative Assembly for 10 more years. I'm repeating, what is the latest 104th amendment talking about? This amendment gave a provision by which the reservations to the SC and STs to the seats of Lok Sabha, the lower house, and State Legislative Assembly extended for 10 more years. I think we all know this point, nothing new, because since the time the constitution was ready, the framers of the constitution actually gave the reservations for only 10 years to encourage and support the progress of backward classes. But after that, every now and then, every 10 years around, the reservations provision kept on extending for many reasons. Correct? Because the major reason would be only then the desired progress will be really seen. So the latest 104th amendment is about the reservations to the SCs and STs extended for 10 more years to the seats of lower house and that is the Lok Sabha and State Legislative Assembly. I think you all know the fact. 1950 the constitution was ready, and then in the constitution itself it was for 10 years, means till 1960 the reservations should be there, then it should end. But what happened in 1960? The 8th constitutional amendment resulted in the extension till 1970, correct? Till 1970. Then 23rd constitutional amendment resulted in the extension till 1980. Then 45th constitutional amendment, 45th amendment resulted in the extension of reservations till 1990. Then 62nd, please note these figures, very important. 62nd constitutional amendment resulted in the extension of reservations till 2006. Then we have 79th amendment. Under the 79th amendment, the reservations are still extended till 2010. And then what happened in the last 95th amendment? 95th amendment, what happened? The reservations are extended till 2020. That is Jan 26. So actually by 2020, January 26, the reservations should end. That is the reason why now this 104th amendment has been made, by which the reservations will be extending for 10 more years till Jan 25th, 2030. Jan 25th, 2030. So please remember the figures, very important when we talk about the reservations to the seats of Lok Sabha and Assembly. The figures, the amendments and the years are absolutely important. 1950 everything was ready and 10 years reservations was there till 1960, then 8th amendment, then 23rd amendment, like that whatever figures, 45th amendment, 62nd amendment, then 79th amendment, last one 95th amendment, the reservations were extended till 2020. There it should end by Jan 26, 2020. It cannot happen. If the reservations don't really continue, there are some people who have really a big need to be supported. So what happened? The latest 104th amendment extended the reservations for 10 more years, by which it will end by Jan 25th, 2030. So this is the latest amendment that happened, called 104th amendment, or you can also call this amendment Constitutional Act 2019 126th Amendment Bill. See the difference? 2019, what happened? 104th Amendment Act, or the same thing officially you can call Constitutional Act 2019 126th Amendment Bill. Please make sure of that. And also, having said all this amendment, what happened? Made a change in the Article 334. Made a change in the Article 334, which talks about the reservations, Anglo-Indians being nominated by the President. We all know this, right? We will talk about it in a separate package, separate video. We have something called 2 Anglo-Indians should be nominated by the President. President has a power to nominate 2 Anglo-Indians. And what happened? In this 104th amendment, this is terminated. So in the future, 2 Anglo-Indians being nominated will not happen. This provision is completely terminated. So 104th amendment is about extension of reservations to the seats of Lok Sabha and Assembly for 10 more years to SCs and STs, and the end of nomination of 2 Anglo-Indians by the President is what happens in the case of 104th amendment. Very, very, very important amendment, students. Whatever exam you prepare for, this topic called amendments is so crucial, irrespective of the level of the exam. You prepare for grammar Sachivalayam or you prepare for civil services, amendments are very important. So by the time you go to the exam, you must definitely know the latest amendments. That is what I advise, is at least go back to the last 15 to 20 amendments. In 2019, how many amendments are made? 104th amendment was made. That's all, or any other amendment? In the year 2019, 2 amendments were made, 104th and 103rd. Anyway, in this video, I have clearly explained what is 104th amendment about. I hope you understood this, and all the best. I'll see you in my next video.